The Big Two in New York. The era has begun. Tim Hardaway Jr., Kristaps Porzingis.
Wait, he was there already, Chris. You
Yeah.
can't go back.
66 points between Porzingis and Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, they got great contributions
Oh,
all
my
night
God.
long. The Knicks, after beating the Nets for their first win, roll into Cleveland and roll the Cavs.
LeBron James and company. The word lethargic. Is that the right one for them tonight?
I think just not playing hard. I mean, look, you got to call it like it is. They're not playing hard. They're not playing together. It's like when one guy has the ball, the other four guys are standing around waiting for their turn. You know, it was all that back and forth about who should be starting. And so, you know, when you look at Cleveland, everybody gets up to play them. And then when you look at a shortened training camp, guys are not really in shape. Guys are not used to playing together. You know, for all the talk about the season's too long, shortened training camp, too many exhibition games. Now you're seeing the effect of that. Coaches don't have enough time to get their teams together, get them on the same page. These teams are literally learning how to play with each other during the regular season.
I think it's crazy to look at this, Sam, with the amount of points that are being scored against the Cavs. I mean, it's a telltale sign of inactivity, unattentiveness, non-competitive on the defensive end of the court. They've given up 114, 112, 112, 123. What did the Knicks have tonight? 114?
114.
I mean, this is not – I know the game, the pace is up a little bit and teams are shooting threes and wanting to score. But if you're a Cavs team that's talking about accomplishing the things that you want to this year, at some point you better start taking some pride and start doing the little things, because nobody's taking care of the defensive end of the court. And some of these nights are getting to the point where when you hear the local guys who are doing the broadcast and they're talking about the team being embarrassing,
yep,
that's when we really start to take notice about how this team is approaching each and every game.
Second night of a back-to-back for Cleveland. A little long in the tooth. When they start getting there,
has nothing to do with it.
You guys both just were like, no.
Come on, dude. Everybody
early in the
plays
year.
the same schedule. Early in the season, you're rested, you're not hurt. You should be excited. And, you know, I understand when you get to game 30 and you're a veteran teams and you hit that time when
too early
right
in the
before
season.
the All-Star break, yeah. But you're supposed to be excited. All these young teams, Orlando, Indiana, all these other teams are excited about the start of the season. Where's Cleveland's excitement?
They're going to play the Pacers on Wednesday, so the next couple of days will be really interesting for Ty Lue and the coaching staff to get a film together, have it out a little bit.
That's going to be a tough film session.
Yeah, that's going to be a type of session where you got to be put on blast, and everybody's got to hear what it is that the coach has to say about you, and the film doesn't lie, as we all know. So Wednesday, the Pacers, who are coming off a great win against San Antonio, that's going to be a good test for them. They'll be at home. The Cavs will be at home. Then they'll travel to Washington. And Washington's going to be excited about getting back after this West Coast road trip where they're playing some good basketball. So this will be an interesting 5 or 6 days for the Cavs to find out, are we going to still keep that switch in the off position, or are we going to get some sort of response against a quality opponent in Indiana and obviously a very good opponent at Washington?
The question is, with the lineup and the guys that they're playing, can they go to that switch now? You know, when you're an older player, it's the most amazing thing to me about age is this. You can be 35 years old playing this season and feel great. All of a sudden you have the off season, next season comes, and your body just don't feel the same. And it happens overnight. Players don't understand. They lose that step from year to year. And so you're looking at the Cleveland team, they're slow, they're not getting back in transition. They're just horrible right now, half-court defense, because people are just beating them off the dribble. Guys are just lining them up for wide open shots or layups.
How difficult must this be for Dwayne Wade? Another night, just 6 points, not getting the shots that he's used to at this point in his career, now just coming off the bench?
Well, what's the difficult part? Dwayne Wade still has a job to do for the Cavs team, whether that's starting or coming off the bench. And the contributions that Dwayne Wade is going to make to this team will be very different than any team that he's played on. Last year in Chicago, the story was that he was supposed to be there for veteran leadership and to help out the team. But for Fred Hoiberg, having Dwayne Wade, that wasn't a good fit because that's not the style of basketball they wanted to play. In fact, in Cleveland, it's not really the style of basketball they want to play. But knowing that Dwayne Wade is going to show up in big moments and in big games, you're not going to get the kind of effort, just like Sam is saying. You come off the bench with Dwayne Wade, Kyle Korver, Channing Frye, and Amon Shumpert, who didn't play in this game tonight. and you're thinking to yourself, where is the change of pace guy for the Cavs?
Where's the energy guy?
Where's the wild card energy player for this Cavs roster when you think you should be doing things, and when those things aren't happening? Some of these guys are getting called on to do circumstantial things within the game that they have not done before. Kyle Korver tonight was huge for the Cavs, knocked down 2 threes, fought for a loose ball, helped them get back into the game around the 9-minute mark. But that's not going to happen. They don't have multiple guys to rely on to have a change of pace. So, like we said, it's going to be an interesting week for Cleveland to see what kind of response they have.
Where are your dirt diggers? Where are the guys when you're struggling that can come in the game, get a loose ball, offensive rebounds, run in transition, makes things happen? Right now, Cleveland just doesn't have that.
How about sliding your feet on defense? Let's look at some plays so you can explain to us just the fundamental part of that the Cavs are missing right now.
Well, right now, when you look at this Cleveland team, their inability to keep anyone in front of them and get back in transition is just killing them right now. So let's go to the highlights and take a couple of looks. All right, right now, look at Cleveland jogging back defensively. Now they finally get back in some type of containment, offensive rebound. People leaking out,
2 for 1
don't
special.
get it, don't box out. Everybody's standing looking. Easy 3 for Tim Hardaway Jr. Again, in transition. They're back, they're pointing, they're talking, but now here's the ball moving. The shot goes up, wide open, uncontested 3 in the corner in a secondary break. And now you look at this play. Porzingis sets the screen, comes off, now he pops. Kevin Love, now it's one thing Kevin Love doesn't get, but where's Derrick Rose in the help position? Where's LeBron James? Where's J.R. Smith? You don't let a center, a 7'1" guy, catch the ball 30 feet from the basket and drive all the way to the basket and lay the ball up uncontested. It was 3 other guys who was in position to help. And right now, everybody just sitting there looking like, you guard your man, I guard my man. The guys are hugging guys on the weak side. They're not in their stance. They're not in the help position. They're not communicating. Right now, they're just playing awful team basketball. It seems like to me, Brett, a bunch of guys are just not comfortable with what they're being asked to do.
Not yet, and waiting for definition while Ty Lue's waiting for effort. And you can't have one without the other. So that's what's fascinating. I'll tell you, Chris, a telltale sign of a player that's not engaged defensively, and you could have one guy doing this, which is going to break down your play. The Cavs have several. Is that when you get a player that's reacting to a play instead of anticipating a play, you're in big trouble. And the Cavs right now have 4 or 5 guys that are reacting to what it is that's going on the floor instead of calling out things and anticipating where it's coming from. Big trouble in Cleveland to start the season. We're not worried about them overall, but it's going to be interesting to see how they work themselves out of it. It's going to take work.
But look at the teams they're losing to. Okay, you got the Brooklyn Nets, the New Orleans Pelicans, the New York Knicks. These are
no
teams
Anthony
struggling.
Davis in the Pelican game.
Yeah.
All teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, too.
Yeah.
That's worse when you're losing to teams like that, right? Like when you're losing to teams that are struggling to win games.
Yes, it is worse, Chris. That's what we're trying
But you
to
never.
do.
But Brent, I'll tell you this: when you look at your schedule and you start trying to check off the games we're supposed to win, you're in trouble because we're talking about Cleveland as being a championship caliber team. Well, guess what? New York knows that. They read the papers. They know who LeBron James is, Dwayne Wade, Kevin Love, and all those guys. They are getting up to play Cleveland. Right now, Cleveland's not getting up to play anyone, but everybody's getting ready to play them. And now they smell blood in the water. So teams are coming into Cleveland saying, look, we got a chance to knock off a potentially great team that can be in the finals. Let's go take care of the opportunity.
And I'll correct myself. AD did play in that game. That was returning after missing one. But, yeah, you're right. That's why these alarms are sounding a little bit louder because the competition Cleveland's facing.